This is your Know Your Word segment. Last week, we began this series. We began speaking about hope. We looked at the passage of scripture found in Romans chapter 15 and verse 4. And we saw there that it said, whatsoever things were written aforetime or before now time were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. Inherent in this passage, there are two things that I'd like to speak about now. One is the whole aspect of for our learning that we might have comfort and hope. Now, this suggests to us that the scripture that was written was setting in motion for us to avoid some things through learning and seeing what happened to others so we might prevent some things. But it also is saying to us that some things that we are not even responsible for, we might find ourselves in, and we need hope as to how to come out of them. And so today, as we think about this, I want to introduce you to the first part that has to do with the preventative. We are still talking about the word. We are talking about how the word sets us on course to avoid some things from happening in our experiences. And so today, my passage, as we go to this whole aspect of what we should avoid and how to get away from some stuff, I'd like to take you to my first passage today, found in the book of Psalm. It is Psalm 1. Psalm 1, the psalmist is getting us into groove to help us to understand that in this world, there are two sides, there are two positions you could take. You can take the position that will set you on course to avoid some stuff, or you could wait until the after you've gotten into the stuff. Psalm 1 begins to talk to us. It says, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Note here the psalmist is saying, blessed is the man, or blessed is the man. The psalmist is helping us to grasp something here. Psalmist, now, some translation refer to this word blessed as happy. Happy is the man. But when you do the root study of this word blessed, you find that the Hebrew is capturing more than the English word happy is taking us into. And so as I speak to somebody in Radio Land today, somebody who might be in a position where they've lost their happiness, or somebody who just on the brink of the question, how can I stay in this place of being happy? The psalmist says, if you really want to be happy, he says, happy is the man that doesn't walk in the counsel of the ungodly. Now, the root word happy, the root word blessed, is really saying, here's what the psalmist is saying. Oh, the happiness many times over is experienced by the man who does not walk in the counsel of the ungodly. The psalmist is helping us to understand this is not just happy. This is, the happiness many times over. If you want to experience happiness many times over, the psalmist says one of the key things is to watch where you walk. Watch where you walk. You can't afford to walk in the counsel of ungodly people. People who don't walk with God. People who don't talk God stuff. People who want to direct you differently. I said you don't take your counsel from ungodly people. I know a lot of people who take their counsel from movies they watch, from daytime pictures that they watch. I know a lot of people who take their counsel from such stuff, but the psalmist is saying that you don't take counsel. If you want to be happy, you can't let your counsel come from the ungodly. You can't stand in the way of sinners, nor can you sit in the seat of the scornful. I would like you to watch the progression the psalmist is introducing us here to. He's saying if you want to guard against this thing and to keep your happiness, watch the progression. First, you walk in the wrong place with the wrong people, taking your counsel from the ungodly. Secondly, you stand in the way of sinners. And then thirdly, he says you sit in the seat of the scornful. Watch the progression. First we walk, then we become comfortable enough to stand, then we find ourselves sitting in the wrong place. The psalmist is helping us to grasp here today, and I'm talking to the issue of the preventative. If you want to stay in the place of happiness and avoid the sadness that would come, watch where you walk, watch who you stand with, and watch where you sit, because this could make the difference between if you're happy and you could keep your happiness, or if you're sad. Please grasp this, because this is an important message the psalmist would like us to get.